Thank you. Alright.
Well, I'd like to inform you first, Mr. Peter, that our webinar tonight is recorded for the sake of education to serve with our teachers community in Indonesia. Is that okay
Yes,
for
sir.
you?
Yes, of course, sir. Of course.
Okay,
Can
okay,
we
thank you. Well, Bapak, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Bapak Ibu sudah bergabung sama kita pada malam hari ini. Kembali Sultra Cerdas dengan moto belajar tanpa henti berbatas. Kami mempersembahkan satu topik yang tidak asing lagi buat kita semua, yaitu Microsoft Teams untuk pembelajaran jarak jauh. Malam hari ini kita akan disuguhkan materi ini disampaikan oleh Bapak Chester Polikarpio LP dari Filipina. Jadi kolega dari Filipina beberapa kali saya chatting dengan melalui Messenger dan akhirnya malam hari ini Pak Chester Polikarpio ini bisa sama-sama bergabung bersama kita. Kita berharap ini adalah cikal bakal untuk membangun International Teacher Network agar kolaborasi bersama guru-guru internasional itu bisa. Dan juga kita harapkan tentu ini bisa menjembatani siswa kita dalam membangun kecakapan abad 21. Baik, Bapak Ibu, telah kita sekitar 176 peserta. Mohon izin Bapak Ibu sebentar saya akan menyapa dan mengantar Bapak Chester Polikarpio ini dari Filipina dengan menggunakan bahasa. Well, hello Chester Polikarpio. We are going to start our webinar tonight, and then before we begin, let's try to introduce you first to Indonesian teachers community.
Yes, sir.
Bapak Ibu, beliau ini adalah seorang licensed professional teacher based in Philippines. He is actually like a certified teacher for professional teacher. Mungkin di Indonesia biasa disebut dengan guru yang tersertifikasi gitu ya. Also T4 for education and our world ambassador. And he's also a Google certified educator. Jadi ada empat dan satu lagi he's also a certified Microsoft Innovative Educator. And tonight he's going to present Microsoft Teams for remote learning. Mungkin dalam bahasa Indonesia sekali lagi ini adalah topiknya kalau kita bahasa Indonesia kan Microsoft Teams untuk pembelajaran jarak jauh. Well, just to make our webinar become much more effective, I would like to invite to welcome our great presenter tonight, Mr. Chester P. Policarpio, LPT from Philippines. Please, now time is yours.
Thank you, sir, for that introduction. And we are talking about, I would like to greet everybody who's in here in this webinar a wonderful evening. Okay. And now we're going to talk about MS Teams for teaching and learning. Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to show you first some pedagogical aspects of how Philippines embraced e-learning. And here are some news sites that proves that Philippines is ready to embrace or practice online learning. DepEd, our Department of Education, also included teaching by the use of television and radio for those people who cannot afford internet connection or internet connectivity. And also, I would like to ask everyone if how are you going to prepare or what are your preparations for the upcoming school year and how your school or yourself as a teacher would plan to prepare for embracing this online learning. May I, sir, may I, ano, may I hear some people to share their preparations po?
Okay. Like say that my school actually have already implementing the use of Microsoft Teams for the whole school. My school we have about 1,600 already in the Teams platform and for
Oh,
both synchronous and asynchronous learning. And also today,
yes, yes, sir.
within the teachers community, I try to help about 1,000 schools in the whole country, and I help them to develop Office 365 and also developing websites for this.
Mm,
And
that's a great news because in choosing Microsoft Teams, later on we will see the specs and what makes Microsoft Teams or Microsoft 365 very special, especially when we are embracing online learning. Because here in the Philippines, I'm just going to share this idea that some of the schools are not only embracing Microsoft Teams, but also other platforms as well. Okay, let's move
yeah, we do
on.
the same here. The Indonesia, some school also use like Google Classrooms,
Google Classroom, Zoom,
Classroom,
and
also Zoom things the same.
yes.
Please continue on.
Okay. So as you have mentioned earlier, the synchronous and asynchronous, we're not going to discuss it thoroughly because we already have the vast knowledge about synchronous learning, which is students learn at the same time with the provision, with the guidance of the teacher. On the other hand, asynchronous, each students learn with their own schedule. Means to say that students maybe they are learning through self-learning, self-paced learning. As what I've mentioned earlier, um, in the Philippines, not we're not only using online or modular, but also we are using television and radio as a mode of learning as well. Okay. Let's move on. What should we consider when conducting an online learning? Okay, of course, number one is technology. That's why it's called online learning because we are using some sort of technology like our laptops, tablets, phones, and other devices that we could use to share or to teach our students. Also, learners' needs, educational and emotional. You might be wondering why there is emotional aspects of learners' needs because nowadays we are feeling COVID-19 and it really sucks because there are plans and dreams that our students want to achieve, but they fail to achieve it because of this um, COVID-19. In part to that, include electives and extracurricular activities. These electives should be fun and helps helps our students to um, to engage themselves to be free and not only staying on their chair watching their teacher on the screen. So they should have time to play or have time with their friends and family and of course bandwidth. This is the most common problem, especially when conducting online learning, because in bandwidth, this is the enemy of the teachers and the students. One way to preserve your bandwidth, a bandwidth, by the way, it's a connection or the internet connectivity or how strong your internet connection is and how are you going to utilize or use that strength of internet to provide or to teach your students. And in order to avoid compromising the bandwidth, you have to, some of the teachers would say, For example, in other platforms, in Zoom or in Microsoft Teams, we ask our students to turn off their cameras and microphones because it um co- that is the primary those are the primary reason why sorry why the bandwidth is compromised. And I think and students demands in learning other students demands in learning as well, and we have the power to assess. We have the opportunity to assess when what are the students demands and what are their needs and other wants in their learning first, and now here is what's in a team. Microsoft Teams is a virtual tool that is essential in bringing in the conversations, contents, and apps together in one place. Because in Microsoft Teams, it's a venue for every application, for every um, applications such as Microsoft Office, Word, PowerPoint, and Excel, and other Microsoft apps. You can integrate it to Microsoft Teams already. It makes the roles and works of teachers and students to allow us to create a conducive and personalized learning environment. Take note of the words conducive and personalized learning environment because nowadays, especially this online learning is very not really difficult, but it's hard to adjust. And as teachers, we have the power again to make our online classroom conducive and fun, even though we are meeting online. Second, create a collaborative classroom. Okay, here in the Philippines, to be honest, a lot of teachers, a lot of parents, a lot of students would say, "Oh, why we are learning in online? How about the collaboration?" Ganyan. But here in Teams, in Teams it ensures collaboration and communication among students and teachers, and connecting also with peers and professional learning communities such as your co-teachers, the principal, the school administration. You can also hold your meeting using Microsoft Teams. It's very, Microsoft Teams is very flexible, not only for teaching and learning. And just a trivia, Microsoft Teams actually did not start for learning, but also for the use of the businessmen in conducting online meeting for their business reports and so on and so forth. And lastly, MS Teams, I want you to take note of these four C's of the Microsoft Teams: connect, communicate, create, and collaborate. Okay? Again, connect, communicate, create, and collaborate. Say it with me. I know I'm not able to hear you, but please say it with me. Connect, communicate, create, and collaborate. Okay. Don't worry, I'm going to give a copy of my presentation later. So Microsoft Office 365 A1 is free for schools. If you subscribe, if your school subscribe or if your school administration um, choose Microsoft Teams or Microsoft 365, it's free. Only they have to do is to subscribe to Microsoft 365 or contact your um, sales representative or the Microsoft representative in your country or in your area. And they are going no they are the ones going to guide you in creating your accounts. And yeah, basically no cost, no commitment, it's free, no expiration once you have subscribed to Microsoft 365. Again, all you have to do is to contact your Microsoft representative in your country or in your area. My name is James. Okay, by the way, is there any questions, sir, so far?
Hello, please
Hello, sir.
just
in the chat box or the Q&A box if there are questions there. Hello? Okay, sir, you're back. Hmm. Sir, you're losing your connection, sir. Okay.
Hello, hello, Chester.
Hello, sir. Sir,
Uh,
you lost your connection, sir.
yeah, I lost my connection at a few minutes before. Well,
Okay, sir.
please keep continuing to present your topic tonight until
Yes, sir.
about uh, 20 or 25 minutes later on, and we are going to have the rest of the time we are going to have a discussion. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay. Okay, again, just tell your school to subscribe to your Microsoft representative near you. Okay? And MS Teams, a tool for learning and collaboration. And here are the following specs. Schedule classes and meetings with your students or meeting with your administration. If you have a faculty meeting, you can also use Microsoft Teams. And later on, we will see how to schedule classes and what part of Microsoft Teams would you use to schedule. Make assignments and quizzes, also part of MS Teams. Grades, giving grades and feedbacks to your evaluation also for your students. You can also add pictures and clips so that your presentation and your lessons, especially for young learners, they are very visual. They are very visual. They are visual learners. They need colorful and um, animated lessons, especially if there is a elementary teacher here. Okay, add third party applications. We will see later what are those third party applications, and create announcements again by scheduling, and share files and create edit paperworks together using OneDrive. And OneDrive, I'm not going to discuss it, but I'm going to give you an overview of what OneDrive is. OneDrive is basically like your My Documents on your computer, where you can save your files, where you can save pictures, where you can save yeah, PowerPoint presentation, Excel sheets, and so on and so forth. And connect from different devices. Again, these devices can be your phone, your laptop, and your tablet. And other uses of Teams, creating plans such as this one, the school improvement plans, response plans, reports, and emotional learning programs, evaluating your teachers, where you can send your evaluation forms to your students if the teacher is performing well, and technology supports and interaction and curriculum planning as well. And it's up to you as teachers if how you're going to plan or create your curriculum. Here in the Philippines, basically we are using curriculum guide. And again, desktop, tablet browsers. If you don't have Microsoft Teams, again, here's a link. Uh, download a. But later I'm going to send this to Sir Bahar, the links that I'm going to so that he will share it with you. Okay? It's easier to remember. I'm going to give you a time to copy the link. if you haven't downloaded the Microsoft Teams in your device. Okay? Okay, let's move on. And and speaking of the third-party applications, here are some of the third-party applications that you can connect with Microsoft Teams. We have Zoom, Canvas, Moodle, Blackboard, Brightspace, and we will see a lot more later on. And these are the buttons in the Microsoft Teams meetings when you are going to conduct a meeting with your students or with your teachers, chat, files, and basically those essential things that you can find in a physical classroom. You can also find it here. And connect and collaborate again. These are the applications under Microsoft. You can also integrate these apps in Microsoft Teams. And these are, again, some of the third-party applications that you can also use in your teaching and learning. We are not going to discuss these one by one because of the time constraints. And again, OneNote, Backpack, and Flipgrid all are under Microsoft as well. Okay? And here are some screenshots of the Microsoft Teams. Here, the class notebook. But in this time when the teacher hasn't uploaded any notebooks yet, so you can also upload that. And here are some files, some recent files that the teacher uploaded, so that so that his or her learners or students can catch up to the lessons. You can also leave it there. It doesn't expire. Don't worry. And here are some assignments. And it will say completed or assigned or not yet passed. Okay. Okay. Speaking, like I've said earlier, scheduling and making announcements. You can use the calendar in scheduling your, for example, online exam, or if there is a quiz, you can schedule it by giving some deadlines using the calendar. Where you just type the the schedule there and choose the time, of course. It's up to you again. And again, the assigned homework that is already passed. If you are wondering why it is past due and there is a check, sometimes Microsoft Teams is fighting over the backlog because of a lot of users. But in the end, the teacher will receive it. So you don't have to worry, and tell your students that they shouldn't worry that it's past due, but why is it not checked? So tell your students it's because of backlog, because of many users of Microsoft Teams. Okay? These are just the uploaded assignment of a student. And this is one of the lessons. For example, the subject is English for grade 3. And you can also post on the wall so that your students can see what kind of lesson that you're going to discuss with them, so that they would have an advanced reading of the lesson. For instance, asynchronous module English 3 orientation, drawing on success. But again, it depends on how many or what type of assignment or announcement that you're going to make. Again, more applications that you can integrate with Microsoft Teams. We have seen some of them earlier. Just go to apps, just click them. For example, forms. In Microsoft Forms, It's the best tool for making quizzes or making assessment right after your lesson. And also Microsoft Forms, a lot of people are using Microsoft Forms in their webinars when they are distributing it for registration or feedback form. And of course, YouTube. You can let your students watch a video on YouTube. And what else? Again, we're not going to discuss it one by one. Okay, again, another set of apps. As you can see, there are a lot of apps and there are a lot of choices that you can make. But for me, I'm going to stick with Microsoft 365 and Microsoft apps. And add some contacts and give them a call. If a student is late or absent, just call them or chat them or give them a chat. Where are you? And are you sick? You can also talk to them personally or by group. But in this case, only one has sent a chat. So again, it's up to you how you're going to make a call or chat. And again, this is the okay. Okay, sorry. This is some of the assignment submitted. Okay. And you can also post pictures and updates on your students or about yourself as a teacher, making announcements. Basically, it's like Facebook, but educational. It's like Facebook. You can react, look at this heart. You can comment on the by replying, and you can also send them some pictures and again lessons as we have seen earlier, posting lessons so that everybody could see and everybody could have an advanced reading of your lesson. And again, I'm going to show you some videos on how to create some lessons or making assignments and stuff. Okay, I'm going to stop first. Sir Bahar, just tell me if the video is loud and can be heard.
To create a team, select the Join or Create a Team button in the top right corner of the Teams app. Select Create Team, and then choose the type of team you want to create. In this demonstration, I am creating a staff team. You will then name the team and select Next. Make sure you leave it set to the default private team type. You will then enter the name of the students or teachers you want to add to your team. When the team members are
Sorry for that. I have to adjust the. Okay, let's repeat it again. Okay.
To create a team, select the Join or Create a Team button in the top right corner of the Teams app. Select Create Team, and then choose the type of team you want to create. In this demonstration, I am creating a staff team. You will then name the team and select Next. Make sure you leave it set to the default private team type. You will then enter the name of the students or teachers you want to add to your team. When the team members are added, I can immediately designate whether one or more of the members should be owners of the team. Once your team is created, members can also join a team with code. To generate the code, select the ellipses by the team name and choose Manage Team. Then select Settings and scroll down to select the Team Code section. Select Generate. You can either copy the code that is generated, or you can display the code on your projector for everyone to see by selecting full screen.
Okay, now that we have an idea on creating our teams and managing our team members. Okay, speaking of managing our teams, with another video. But first, I'm going to adjust the quality, the video quality. Okay.
To change a member's role in the team, select the ellipses by the name of the team and choose Manage Team. When the members page loads, select the caret by the members and guests to expand the list and see all of the members of your team. When the list populates, find the name of the person who you want to be an owner and select the down arrow by member and choose Owner. Once the status changes, the new owner will appear in the Owner section of the page. If you need to delete a member of the team, select X by Member Owner. To mute members, you can mute all students by selecting the Mute Students at the top of the list of members. If, however, you only want to mute one or a couple of students, you can select the box in the Mute Students column by the individual student's name. To modify the theme, permissions, and further control conversations, select Settings. In the Member Permissions section, determine whether members can create or delete channels, apps, tabs, connectors, and messages. In the App Mentions section, you can decide if members can use @team and @channel mentions. Finally, in the Fun Stuff section, you decide whether members are permitted to use different stickers and memes, and if you permit them, which filter should be applied.
Again, basically, this video talks about giving permission to the team members, to your students. For example, you are assigning them a virtual report. You're going to adjust their role. For example, from being a member to be an owner. Because being a member is the role of a member in a team is limited. However, in the owner, they have the power to manipulate every single detail in Microsoft Teams. Okay? I hope it's clear and we shall move on to the third.
When you launch the Teams app, you will arrive at your Teams dashboard. We think of the Teams dashboard as having two distinct areas. The large area that shows one specific team or all of your teams is the We space, because it is where you share, post, and communicate with other members of your team.
Just like what I've said earlier, it's the wall, it's like the Facebook. It's like Facebook that you can share, post, and update your team members. Or in this scenario that we are in education, our students. Okay, let's proceed again.
The bar on the left-hand side of the screen is where you'll find notifications about your recent activity, private chats, teams, assignments, meetings, files, and apps. We think of this navigation bar as the Me space because it has controls and notifications specifically for you. The center of your screen will contain white boxes with icons. Each of these represents a team to which you belong. You have many choices to control features of your teams, including the option to hide them. Select the ellipses on the team, and a drop-down menu will appear. Hidden teams are still active. To see them, scroll down to the bottom of your dashboard and select the downward caret by the Hidden Teams icon. Additionally, you can always rearrange your team's titles by simply dragging and dropping. You can even filter your teams to show the type you want to view. When you select the filter icon, a list allows you to select all, classes, PLC, staff, or other teams. To open a team, click on that team's tile. On the left is a list of channels that are part of this team. Channels are a way to divide up different aspects of your team into categories, units, topics, or themes. Across the top of any team is a row of tabbed features. All teams have posts, files, and a OneNote logo. The plus sign allows you to add even more tabbed features. If you want to search for anything in any of your teams, type a name or keyword in the search bar. Need extra help? Microsoft Teams has you covered. There is always a help button at the bottom of your Teams screen.
Yeah, in the tab or the We tab, I like what I've shown you earlier, like the assignments or how the students submit and see their assignments and the files. Okay, I think that we have the third. I know the second, the fourth. Okay, real quick.
Every team can be subdivided into channels. You can create channels however you like, by units, small groups, class periods, themes, or whatever makes sense for you. In this math department team, channels have been set up for professional communications. The channels include things like budgets, schedules, and meeting minutes. In this earth science class, the teacher has chosen to create channels that represent chapters or units within her earth science curriculum. Intro to Earth Science, Models of the Earth, Plate Tectonics, and Rocks and Minerals. To add a new channel, select the ellipses that is next to the team name, then select Add Channel. Enter a channel name and add details for your new channel if you'd like. Then select Add and your new channel. Your new channel appears immediately in the list, and you can begin communicating and populating it with conversations, files, notes, apps, and more. You can also create a private channel. Select the ellipses next to the team name and select Add Channel. Enter a name, and this time click on the caret next to Standard under Privacy Features and select Private. You can add students or teachers now or later when you manage the channel the same way you can add members to the team. You can tell a channel is private because it has a lock next to it in your list of channels. Only members of a private channel see it in their list of channels. So team members don't see private channels that they are not a member of.
Yes. Just to add, these channels makes your work very easy, and it's easy to classify your students, especially if your students or that your classes are divided into different sections. For example, grade 1 or grade, okay, let's make it higher. For example, you are teaching grade 12 and there are three sections, and these channels are best for you to make in order for you to make your these sections divided and classified accordingly. Let's move on to the conversations.
Conversations in Microsoft Teams are the ideal way to communicate and collaborate with members of your team. Whether it's a class, a club, a whole staff, or a PLC, you can choose to communicate with the whole team or specific members. To post a message in the Posts tab, select the New Conversation button. This opens a field you can type in. Click on the first icon under the conversation box to see formatting options at the top of your message box. You can add a header so the subject of your message is visible and clear. Once you have your header, you can finish your message. When the message is to the entire team, you can add team name to ensure that everyone knows the message is important. If you want to add a GIF, emoji, or sticker, you just select the appropriate icon. You can also attach and share links, documents, and multimedia files. You can even initiate a live meeting right within your team. Just select the video camera icon. If you ever want to send a message to certain team members in the conversation area, use the @ sign with their names. Type your message in the box and press enter, or select the paper airplane icon to send it. They will receive notifications that you have sent them a message.
Yes, especially this is the forte of Microsoft Teams, giving conversations and utilizing conversations among you and your students. And again, it's up to you if you want to see them, just tell them, okay, class, turn on your cameras or video cameras and your microphone, for example. Or you sometimes, again, due to bandwidth problems, some teachers would say to turn off their cameras or to turn off their videos. Because again, conversation is really the key in student learning. Okay, let's move on to making announcements.
Announcements are an exciting way to make a visually impactful statement within the posts section of a Teams channel. To create an announcement, select New Conversation. Click on the first icon under the conversation box to open formatting options. Select the downward caret next to the words New Conversation, and a drop-down box will appear. It gives you the option to compose a standard conversation or to create an announcement. Select Announcement. Type your announcement where it says Type a headline. You can add more details by including a subheading and extra information about your announcement. To make your announcement really pop, you can add a colorful image or graphic. Select the box that has the image icon to choose a background. You could upload your own image, but Microsoft Teams has also provided an illustration library with some fun and colorful choices. There are categories for background images so that you can easily find the perfect background for your announcement. Select the image you like and then click Done. Select the paper airplane icon to share the announcement with your class. Just like standard conversation threads, your team members will have the ability to reply with their thoughts, questions, and ideas. Announcements really do stand out and make a big visual impact in your posts.
Again, it's truly like Facebook, where you can monitor everybody and anybody can see it. But in Teams, only your class could see your announcements. Okay.
You can personalize your team by adding apps so your staff and students do not have to leave the team to complete their work. To add an app, select the plus icon at the end of the menu tabs. You will then see a dialog box which has a variety of apps that can be added. Choose the app you want to use. Once you have selected the app, enter the necessary information or select the specific file you want to add as a tab. In the website app, for example, you will add the URL. Be sure to also rename the tab so it is descriptive for your team members. You can also check the box to post to the channel about the new tab and then select Save. Your new tab is now visible for everyone in your team.
I hope it's clear by adding apps. Just go to apps and choose your apps. Again, I'm really going to stick with Microsoft Office, like Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, because those are really essential when it comes to learning and assessing your students. But it's up to you. It's your decision on what applications You only have to do is to explore these apps. You don't have to download it because Microsoft Teams provided it for you already. Okay. And lastly, the assignments.
Within the class team, teachers can create, track, and review assignments for their students with the Assignments tab. Once you are in the Assignments tab, select Create. You have the choice of creating a new assignment, quiz with Microsoft Forms, or use an existing assignment again. When you create a new assignment, you will enter a title, choose a category for the assignment, so it's easy to search later. Include instructions for the assignment. Attach any document, link, OneNote page that you want students to use for the assignment. Set points for the assignment. If you have a rubric for the assignment, you can add it as well. Set a due date for the assignment. Decide whether or not to allow late turn-ins. Select which channel the assignment notification will post to. You can now choose whether or not this assignment will be assigned to students that join your class after it is assigned. You can also make a separate due date and closing date to allow a grace period. When you are ready for students to see the assignment, you can select Assign. Once you have created the assignment, you can select to see which students have submitted their work for review. Microsoft knows how busy educators are, so now you can automate some of the settings for assignments because every click adds up. Go into the assignment settings to set a default time of day for assignments to be due for this class, to determine whether new students will see assignments created before they join, and which channel you want assignments posted to. If you set up channels by units, you can come here and update your selection when you start a new unit. All of these settings are also adjustable within individual assignments. Finally, if you work with older students and think they won't appreciate the animated celebrations that appear when students submit an assignment, you can turn those off here.
Okay. That's the last essential, right, essential part of learning, assessing, and giving assignments to your students. As we can see, going back here,
The
there's
educators are.
there's also I saw the quiz tab there, but you can also review, you can repeat this video once over and over again. Okay, can make your assignments and assessments for your students to assess their learning and what they have learned also. Okay, and finally, if finally, let's see if there's a last link. Oh yeah, here are some links. Okay, wait. Okay. And here are the links and resources that you could use in your exploring and learning more about Microsoft 365. Not only Microsoft Teams, but the whole Microsoft 365. Okay? You can copy this link, or I think there's a chat box. Sir Bahar, is there a chat box in?
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Sure, just a recap here. And tonight,
Thank you.
it's 9 p.m. in my country. Maybe in your country is the same. We have the same
Yes, sir.
time. Okay. It's time for asking my attendant where they may be want to ask direct question to you for those who could speak in English.
Yes, sir.
Let me try to check in my attendance. So, hello, Pak Alfi atau Bu Alfi, mohon maaf nih. Apakah mau bertanya langsung pakai bahasa Inggris kepada pemateri kita malam hari ini? Pak Alfi atau Bu Alfi Nauzah ya? Halo? Kami mendapati Bapak atau Ibu sedang raise hand di sini. Apakah mau bertanya langsung kepada, sedang mengangkat tangan, apakah mau bertanya langsung kepada Mr. Chester malam hari ini? Halo? Bu Alfi ya? Oke, saya lanjut dengan attendee yang angkat tangan yang lain. Ibu Khairun Nisa. Mungkin mau bertanya langsung atau mau pakai bahasa Indonesia juga boleh, nanti dicoba ditranslate ke bahasa Inggris, semoga pemateri kita bisa paham. Halo Bu Khairun Nisa. Halo. Oke, saya lanjut dengan klik kembali raise hand-nya Bu Khairun Nisa kalau tidak ingin bertanya.
Mohon izin bertanya, Pak Bahar.
Oke, silakan bertanya.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome to join, sir. In Sultra Cerdas, and nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. Talking about Microsoft Teams, presentation of very interesting material. And talking about Microsoft Teams, of course, this is not something new for us. And some schools, especially in our area, use this application as a home learning method, which has so far been considered an effective way of distance learning during the COVID-19 period.
Yes.
As you have already explained, the Microsoft Teams application is very complete with synchronous and asynchronous learning. And in my area, the use of this application is actually very helpful, but the biggest obstacle or the problem by the teacher and students is the internet network, which is often unstable, and
yes, ma'am.
And has not reached all area in our country. So most of our students are already using this application for high school level and junior school level. So for me personally, this really helped me interact with my students. But my problem is that I don't understand how to collaborate with students when doing a video conference. Would you like to show me how to easily collaborate with the students when I conduct a video conference and share screen with the students? Okay.
So you mean on how to on how to start collaboration with your students and your students to students collaboration as well, ma'am?
When doing a video conference,
yes,
I wanna share my screen to my students and using the same screen. collaborate in the same screen.
Okay, I got your question now. Also, in the Microsoft Teams, in sharing your video, you can also group your students according to, for example, you are conducting a group work. For example, you want your students to have a group work, okay? You can also divide your students to, for example, uh, can you give me a group? How many groups in there? For example,
Mm-mm.
5 groups, then 5 members. You can also divide it and let them chat with each other. There's also, where is it? The chat box. Okay, here. Again, in this area, okay, you want to share the screen again. You make a call in this area. You can also add, for example, this Castiel Dwayne. You can also add 4 more members to them, and then let them chat with each other and call them another. And you can also monitor them one by one each group. So I think collaboration is there and not would be compromised. I hope I answered your question.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Uh, Bahar bisa nggak menyampaikan mungkin Mr. Esther ini belum memahami pertanyaan saya.
Hello. Sure, Chester.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Ma'am Indah wants you to show like see do a kind of have you used whiteboard? Mungkin yang maksud bukannya whiteboard ya?
Iya,
Whiteboard.
maksudnya iya ketika saya sedang melakukan video conference gitu kan, saya mencoret-coret gitu di layar gitu, ada semacam whiteboard. Kemudian saya ingin siswa itu bisa collaborate gitu. Itu kan yang dimaksud tadi ya, yang dimaksud oleh Mr. Chester, kita bisa collaborate di situ. Nah, saya bisa tidak, maksudnya dia menunjukkan ke saya cara gitu, mempraktekkan langsung, mendemokan cara saya misalnya collaborate dengan siswa. Kira-kira gunakan apa gitu.
Okay. So, Sir Chester, I think
Yes, sir.
you might have been doing teach using Jamboard maybe in Google. So, in Microsoft Teams, you may think to use kind of class note book or maybe whiteboard for sharing screen to collaborate, to write in the same space at the same time.
Yes, sir.
At the same time in your classroom. Ma'am Inda would like to ask you to show a demonstration, but maybe you can share with us tonight to do a collaboration in the same whiteboard, if you can.
Using whiteboard.
Yeah.
First of all, whiteboard, is it the application, the software, sir? The learning app, the whiteboard?
Sorry?
Sir, the whiteboard, sir? Is it
Yeah.
the application? Sir, a whiteboard is under Google Education, sir.
No. When you try to share screen in Microsoft Teams, you also find a whiteboard there, like showing in Google Classroom. Yeah. Please, if you want to show, you can show, maybe please open your team up right now, just to show a demo of sharing screen there.
Okay, sir, wait.
Okay.
Hopefully, I have a stable internet connection. Sometimes
Yeah,
it has
me
a
same.
it's really problematic.
Easy, no
Really.
problem. If you cannot see the if you cannot so eyes tonight, no problem. You can just skip it. I will tell Ma'am Indah then about your problem. That's okay.
Yes, sir. I'm going to try to open.
Okay.
Okay. What happened? No. Okay, I cannot sign in. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Because of the internet, I don't know what's happening. Okay. But then again, you can find all of the details, all of the information in the
Okay, no problem. That's okay. I know that you may have un- you open the Webex app then or Teams. It may you uh, connection.
share your chappy, share your audio.
Yeah, I seeing your screen here, but it is all over blurred with no images showing us.
Yes, sir. It's blurred. Okay. Think I'm going to
Okay, just
make make this full screen.
Indah sebenarnya ini ada gangguan sedikit koneksi karena dia double double aplikasi, dia pakai satu Webex kemudian membuka Teams juga di komputernya Mr. Chester, sepertinya ada kendala.
Oh ya. Oke, Pak.
Ada kendala koneksi dan share screen-nya juga ada masalah tadi ketika di share dia blur.
Oh iya, nggak apa-apa.
So, hello Chester.
Hello,
So,
sir.
yeah, I think you have a trouble in connection because you use both WebEx app and
Yes, sir.
Teams at the same time, so the connection may be dropped down because of that. Okay, now
Yes,
just
sir.
the question from Indah. I already tell her about your actual problem.
Okay.
Okay, that's okay.
But
Okay.
that information you can find it to in education.microsoft.com. If I'm not
Okay.
able to answer that question, you can find it there or in Fast App.
Well, thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, thank you. Once more.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Bahas
Yes,
satu
ma'am.
lagi boleh ya? Once more, okay. Mr. Chester, so far as I know, Microsoft Teams is mostly used by senior high school in my country, especially
Yes,
senior high school or junior
that's
high
good. That's
school.
good.
Yes. Do
That's
you
good.
think?
That's good.
Yes. Do you think using this application at elementary school will be effective? Is
If
it
that
suitable for elementary school students, as we know that the limited ability of elementary school students to understand the use of this application? What do you think about?
yes, ma'am. Yes, I believe, ma'am, it's very effective because in the elementary, in our elementary department, they are using Microsoft Teams. In fact, my nephew and
Mhm.
in his school is using Microsoft Teams as well. And as what
Oh,
I've observed with their teachers, the PowerPoint presentation and the
oh,
assignments, the notes are very colorful. It's just me. It's just your your power. It's your decision to make it colorful and to make it very attractive to elementary because like I said earlier that elementary students are visual learners and they really want to see their teachers, right? And also, I would like to suggest that you could also put background, perhaps a colorful background, so when you are presenting and when you are teaching, so that your students would be eager to listen to you. Okay?
Oh,
Hmm?
oh yeah, yeah. Thank you. Terima
Thank
Okay.
kasih
you, ma'am.
Commander. Thank you,
Thank you,
Mister.
ma'am.
Okay, you're welcome.
Mr. I think uh, I do your opinion that is very it is possible to use Microsoft Teams for elementary
For the
students,
elementary students.
but it depends on how teacher can uh, uh,
Make
create
their lessons interactive. Yes.
interesting topic, more interesting, creative media for the students. I think.
Yes. According
Okay.
to a commenter, it's also applicable for students with special needs. And it's from Stephanie. Yes. According to her, it's all Microsoft Teams is also applicable for students with special needs. And I agree. I agree.
Okay. Well, Sir Chester, I'll be
Yes.
going to move to chat room. I'm going to find. um, Let me see. Maybe several questions is already posted there.
Yes.
This is the questions stated in bahasa Indonesia, but I can translate it into English as well. The question is from Pak Agus Haryanto.
Okay.
Uh,
Hello.
Pak Agus Haryanto asked uh, for those who do not have an account of Office 360 are they able to use to join the teaching the by learning by using Office 365?
Sir, pardon, sir. If he doesn't have an account,
Yeah. Just like I think it's possible to for those students if they don't have an account of Office 365, they can as
yes, sir.
yeah.
Actually, sir, they can join if
Yeah.
their school already subscribed to Microsoft 365 or Microsoft Office 365. It's automatically that the teachers and the staff, the teaching staff would also have the access in using Microsoft 365. So you don't have to worry about signing in because they're going to give you your username, your password, and it's up to you to utilize or use your account in making your classes, your lessons, and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
again, just tell your school to subscribe to Microsoft Office 365. If there's a Microsoft representative near you, yeah, just contact them and let them do the job for you.
Okay. Thank you. I will translate it into Indonesian.
Okay, sir?
Oke, Pak Agus Haryanto, jadi bisa ya, bisa dan solusi paling jelas tadi disampaikan oleh Mr. Chester bahwa Bapak bisa meminta sekolah untuk bisa mendeploy Office. Ya, A1 itu gratis ya, itu mendapatkan semua akun untuk semua guru dan siswa gratis seperti itu. Well, I want to move to the next question. Let me
Okay,
see.
sir. Okay.
Students who do not have a computer is, oh yeah, it's asking about this from Agus, Sir Agus Haryanto. He's also asking about is uh, asking whether running Microsoft Teams require uh, require high specification of smartphone or yeah.
Not really, sir, because my laptop is what's the spec of this laptop? Inspiron 14300. It's not really very high spec, but according to the one who asked the question, smartphone, I don't think, sir, if um you need a high spec smartphone, but I will suggest that make sure that your smartphone has an enough RAM. For example, okay,
Yeah,
let me
but
check.
okay,
Let me
sure.
check.
Okay, thank you,
Let me
sir.
check
So
the
do you have
memory.
any resources maybe you can like a requirement, the minimum requirement of running this app into a smartphone?
If you okay again going back, if you have subscribed to Microsoft and you got your username and password, that's the only requirement. All you have to do is to download Microsoft Teams in your phone, on your smartphone, on your device, and log it in, and that's it. And upload your lessons, conduct your lessons as well, teach your students. And also, sir, I would like to say this because Microsoft Teams also is a platform for a webinar. And I hope that you would consider next time if we have a webinar again, would you choose Microsoft Teams as well?
Okay, thank you. We do have also we do have A1 license for our teachers community here for Sultra
Yes, yes.
Challenge. Yeah, but
Okay, that's good to hear.
Pak Agus Haryanto jadi tidak perlu HP canggih ya, tidak perlu HP canggih untuk menjalankan Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Office 365 ya. Cukup Bapak coba install saja aplikasinya melalui eh, Play Store atau App Store untuk menjalankan Microsoft Teams-nya di smartphone-nya. Dari Pak Jasmine Suryadi, what an interesting topic. Unfortunately, I have an online meeting as well. Congratulations, Sia. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jasmine Suryadi.
Okay. Thank
Uh,
you.
so another question here, Nur Aisyah
Okay.
Lubis. Nur Aisyah Lubis, Office 365. Oh. This is quite a difficult question. So can you give me any information about this question? To deploy Office Microsoft Office 365.
Share your choppy.
Sorry.
Share your audio is choppy.
Yeah, this is she's asking for you that how to deploy Office 365. Ibu Nur Aisyah, kan masih ada Bu Nur Aisyah Lubis ya. Di attendee. Bu Nur Aisyah. Ya, presenter. Oke, Bu Nur Aisyah Lubis, saya mute kembali ya karena sepertinya lagi tidak sedang aktif. Saya lanjut kepada Bu Dermawati, barangkali mau menanyakan sesuatu kepada tentang topik kita kepada pemateri pada malam hari ini. Silakan Bu Dermawati, boleh berbahasa Inggris.
Okay, thank you, Pak Bahar. Hello, thank you for the time being given to me. I would like to ask about educationmicrosoft.com. My name is Dermawati. I am a superintendent, school superintendent or supervisor. Can I use education.microsoft.com to help me to have a team? Because I have 7 schools under my supervision. Can I use this application to monitor or to supervise the school? As you know that I have 2 accounts. I have already 2 accounts about Microsoft 365, but I failed to call my school to join the team. Is there any suggestion?
Yes, ma'am. You only have to do is to subscribe to Microsoft Teams if that the case that not is it the other staff, the other teaching staff doesn't have an account?
Sorry?
Okay, wait. Sorry, I dropped my headset. Okay. Okay. All you have to do, ma'am, is to yes, ma'am, you can also use it to monitor. You can also use it to have a meeting and yeah, perhaps it's everything.
Yeah. As I told you, sir, I failed to invite the school to join the team.
Okay, so, okay,
They
ma'am, I
have
got
some
it.
problems.
So it's the school's responsibility actually to subscribe to the Microsoft Teams. It's the administration.
Hello, Sir Chester.
Yes, ma'am.
It's Dermawati actually have already had 2 accounts in her Office 65 account too, meaning that maybe Dermawati has already within these 2 accounts she's in as he as
Share your address copy.
So those schools using the account. So she's asking you about why she cannot call those teachers using her account, her Office 365 account?
Perhaps because of there are certain problems, for example, that I am experiencing right now, that I cannot, even myself, I cannot invite, and others cannot invite me as well in their teams. I don't know what some issues facing with the Microsoft Teams. Perhaps the best solution is to contact the representative of Microsoft.
Oke, oke. Ibu Darmawati, mohon maaf, akunnya itu berasal dari mana?
I have 2 accounts, one from school, from my school, and another one is from APSI, Asosiasi Pengawas Sekolah Indonesia.
Okay, good to know that. So yeah, let's say for example you take one from the school now. Ibu mengambil yang satu yang dari sekolah ini, juga tidak bisa memanggil guru yang dari sekolah atau guru dari tempat lain gitu, atau dari instansi dari sekolah yang sama?
I have used the one from APSI, Pak, from APSI, and then I invited the schools using their email, and then only 2 schools can join, and they cannot send the assignment I have given to them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is there any solution? Sorry,
Well,
is there any solution or suggestion? Whom should I contact the one who can help me to give explanation how to use Microsoft Teams?
Okay.
First you cannot invite the other users, and it's one of the problems because they are not included in the teams. Secondly, you have to include them to your teams. You have to make them a member. That's why we have watched the video earlier, making your members into owners or owners to members. And again, to raise your problem, you may contact your Microsoft representative near you. If there is a Microsoft company in Indonesia, I think they have also have the contact number in this link.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chester. Let me share my experience to you during during the COVID-19. I do use Microsoft Teams in my school, and also I've been trying to share it. I have Office 365 account also in Sultra Cerdas, which is the domain is cerdas.klik, and I've been sharing it among about 3,000 teachers among Indonesian. And then, Ibu Darmawati, I would like to give you a suggestion for your problem, because you cannot only 2 schools you can invite to join a Teams account.
Yes. Excuse me. Sir, your audio is choppy.
Two options there, the meetings and the teams. If he or she, your administrator in your Office 365 account can manage to doing that, to allow guests for joining your teams. That's my experience. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Pak Baharudin. It is clear. Thank you for your suggestion.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you. Well,
thank you.
Now we are going to move to Pak Sari.
Ya Pak, terima kasih Pak atas kesempatan yang diberikan kepada saya Pak. Dari yang ingin saya tanyakan di sini Pak, untuk Microsoft Teams Pak, ini tidak ini kalau saya lihat Pak tidak memberikan akses ya secara gratis untuk pengguna Pak, agar bisa menggunakan aplikasi secara langsung tanpa dia berbayar Pak. Seperti saya. Kalau di ini untuk Classroom Pak kan langsung akses kan kita tanpa berbayar Pak. Mohon penjelasannya Pak, itu saja Pak. Terima kasih Pak.
So, Sir, hello.
Sir, I cannot hear you.
Hello, Chester.
Yes, sir.
Pak Bahar, suaranya putus-putus dari tadi.
Can you hear me?
So, Mr.
yes,
Chester cannot hear you.
Hello, Sir Chester, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, now.
Thank you. Well, Sir, Sir Biharian asked you that, but is there any way to have a free account of registration like Google Class? We have a free registration without subscription for the school. But he can just create an account of Gmail, and then he can use it for his classroom. So, is there any way to thing in Microsoft Teams?
Yes, sir. There is a free trial in Microsoft Teams, and basically the Microsoft 365 in general. There's a free trial, and again, in order to make your subscriptions free, again, tell your organization, your school to subscribe, because in subscribing, it gives you the benefit of using the Microsoft apps like the Teams and other Microsoft applications free. So if you're using it for your personal use, it's going to be limited. So I suggest that you subscribe to your tell your school to subscribe in order to use the benefits of Microsoft 365. Just like in Google, right? It's free.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, Sir Chester. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Okay na. Okay, sir.
Halo. Halo, Bu Indah, bisa mendengar saya?
Bisa, Pak, bisa.
Oke. Pak mudah-mudahan Pak Saleh ini lagi monitor.
And in addition to what I've said earlier, in Microsoft there's two ways in subscribing. You could use your Microsoft account if you have, or you may also use your Outlook.com account. Just go to Outlook and use your Outlook to subscribe to Microsoft.
Oke, Pak Saleh itu memiliki email.com. Bapak bisa ngetik di Bapak outlook.live.com. to create there.
Kebahas suaranya putus-putus lagi, itu jaringan kayaknya kurang bagus. Unstable. Iya, putus-putus, Bapak.
Halo.
Iya, halo, udah kedengaran lagi. Silakan, Pak.
Hello.
Halo. Dan akun gratisnya. Oke.
Ya, mungkin Pak Bahar bisa share link registrasi. Ini banyak yang meminta akun Office 365 dari Sultra Cerdas. Masih banyak yang belum kebagian. Kirim ke saya, Bapak. Nanti saya share. Bantu share di room chat.
Saya bantu untuk share sebentar ya. Oke, selanjutnya kita berpindah kepada Ibu.
Di Q&A banyak pertanyaan juga, Pak.
Sebentar ya.
Pak host.
Ibu Hasriani mungkin mau bertanya langsung kepada materi kita.
Iya Pak, mau bertanya langsung. Oke, firstly I want to say thanks for the time for me. And good evening, Mr. Okay, my question is,
Iya, halo.
yeah,
Hello.
my signal
Hello.
is not so good. Okay, my question is, most of my students have problem about the application like this. Application is heavy, very heavy. So most of my students use handphone to study from the home. So my question is, what is the application heavy or not? And then more easy to find signal.
Okay.
And then the application can video conference more than 20 students. I think enough. Thank you.
So basically, sir?
Your point?
Okay.
So do you get the point?
Sir, I did not hear that clearly. Because
Okay,
according to...
She's asking you about maybe because her students are not having kind of specification of lab. Yeah, answer.
Wait. Sir, can you type the question instead on the chat box?
Oke. Pak, bisa saya ulang?
Ya, silakan
Maksudnya
Ibu. Silakan Ibu.
Oh iya. Maksudnya seperti ini. Semua siswa saya itu mengeluh kalau aplikasinya berat. Karena mereka RAM handphonenya tidak cukup. Seperti itu. Kemudian, jika saya melakukan video conference, Bisakah aplikasi tersebut lebih dari 20 orang bisa bergabung dalam video conference tersebut? Seperti itu, Bu.
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Okay, well, her question of smartphone, and also she's asking you, is Microsoft Teams supports more than 20 students for conferencing?
Yes, sir. As I've mentioned earlier, it's very applicable and it's very, useful to them. So you don't have to worry about um, the other the other problems like what applications could you use to utilize your lessons for your students.
Oke. Oke, Ibu Hasriani, jadi sebenarnya RAM memori ya yang paling menentukan memang harus cukup dulu ya. Kemudian berat dan ringan sebetulnya ya tergantung pada koneksi internet juga ya Bu Hasriani. Terus kalau kapasitas Microsoft Teams sejauh apa yang kami pakai itu untuk general meetings itu sampai 300 orang Bu ya. Dan itu berlangsung 1 kali 24 jam untuk Microsoft Teams ini. Dan ini free ya, gratis gitu, nggak berbayar. Terus kalau yang live meetingnya Ibu bisa video conference sampai 30.000 orang. So you would have more than 8 or 10 classes. Jadi Ibu bisa video conference itu dengan Microsoft Teams sampai 300 orang, Bu. Seperti itu. Halo, Bu Hasriani.
Iya.
Ya.
Kemudian itu Microsoft-nya bisa dipasang di handphone anak-anak kalau misalnya RAM cuma 2 GB atau 3-4?
Bisa. Jadi spesifikasinya ini sangat minim juga sebetulnya.
Dan kalau mengirim video, Pak, videonya terpotong atau tidak? Kan saya sering meminta siswa mengirim percakapan bahasa Inggris melalui WhatsApp, tapi biasanya tidak bisa terkirim, malah terpotong. Kalau di aplikasi ini bisa full enggak, atau ketika siswa mengirim videonya, apakah bisa saya langsung upload ke YouTube saya atau channel saya, Pak?
Ya, jadi begini, saya langsung jawab saja karena ini agak teknis ya Bu ya. Jadi kalau Ibu akan berbeda sekali menggunakan WA ya, kalau WA menggunakan memori handphone. Kalau Microsoft Teams itu menggunakan cloud-nya Microsoft 1 terabyte satu siswa Bu. Jadi satu siswa itu nanti ketika memiliki akun Office 365 per siswa termasuk per guru itu nanti masing-masing guru mendapatkan 1 terabyte atau 1000 giga Bu. Ya, jadi tidak akan kekurangan space memori gitu. Seperti itu. Tidak mengisi memori di handphone, dia mengisi di cloud-nya Microsoft. Di Office 365.
OneDrive.
Yeah, but actually, Chester, she's asking you about whether those students who already 2 gigs or 4 gigs memory smartphone, is it possible to run the app of Microsoft Teams? And I already said to her that actually Microsoft Teams have a cloud storage which is consists of 1 terabyte for each user.
Yes, sir. You're correct.
Okay, that's my own experience, and I already use it in my school.
Yes, sir. That's good to hear.
Okay, thank you. Terima kasih Bu Hasriani ya sudah tanya dan kita cukupkan dulu. Kita lanjut ke penanya berikutnya. Kita coba cek di room chat, maybe from Q&A. Untuk membuat kelas paralel, mana yang lebih baik antara membuat kelas tim setiap kelas ataukah membuat satu kelas besar kemudian dibuat kelompok-kelompok pada channel press setiap kelas? Okay, good question. This is from I think maybe because this is Indonesian language, so you can maybe you don't know how to answer it in Q&A. Let me translate it into English. This question from Nur Syamsi. To create a parallel classroom, which is best to use? We create teams for each classroom, or we create a big class, and then we continue to create a private channel for each classroom.
Okay. So first of all, if you are teaching multiple or different sections, for example, you're teaching senior high or grade 12, which, for example, let's give grade 12 is 3 sections. It's important to make different teams for them. On the other hand, in my response to the second question about making a video, if and only if the said or the particular grade level is on the same lesson, it's all right to make a video for them.
Yeah.
In making teams, since in making teams, it's just making your work organized and easier. So that's my recommendation for you to make a teams for different sections or different grade levels.
Okay. Let me translate it into bahasa Indonesia.
Okay, so
Pak Nur Syamsi bahwa Pak Mr. Chester ini menjelaskan bahwa dia merekomendasikan untuk membuat masing-masing teams ya. Saya juga lebih prefer sebetulnya divisi teamsnya ya. Karena kenapa? Di sana kita akan lebih fleksibel untuk mengatur kelas-kelas paralelnya masing-masing, dan juga di dalam kelas-kelas paralel itu kita bisa membuat channel-channel privat yang lebih bervariatif lagi seperti itu. Okay, thank you for the answer, Sir Chester. And then we are going to move to another. Oke, ini kayaknya bukan pertanyaannya. Microsoft Teams sangat cocok untuk pembelajaran sinkron dan asinkron. Kendala kami daerah Microsoft Teams sama memerlukan koneksi internet. Sudah terjawab ya. Ya, memang permasalahannya salah satu actually searches for siapa ini? Mem Eka Risma have a problem of bandwidth internet connection. If you have shown us in your presentation tonight that some consideration is one of the consideration to one things to consider to apply to use Microsoft Teams in school is the internet connection.
Yes, sir.
Then another question from Iqbal Hafid: how to use OneNote faster while write review correcting my students' assignment. My physics classroom about 200 students.
Okay, here's my take. This is because this is what we are doing. ask your students to upload their, since you're talking about OneNote, then let's assume that they have OneNote, and that's the platform that they're going to use in their making their assignments, right? So task them and ask them to submit the those OneNote, the portion of OneNote in your OneDrive. Which is the cloud drive on your, yes, it's basically a Microsoft app as well. And tell them to publicize the link and share the link and copy the link and share it to the teacher so that it would be easier to utilize and easy to check.
Oke. Jadi Bapak Sir Iqbal Hafid, you can ask your students to upload their works using OneNote, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
They have to upload it first on the OneDrive, and I think it is also uploading the content first on OneDrive makes the use of internet much more efficient than using it in live stream.
Yes, sir. And also in OneDrive, you can make OneDrive offline. So if you're having a problem in checking online, and you could ask your students to make it offline and
yes.
make your OneDrive offline as well.
Yeah, they can sync it offline, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Exactly.
The next question from Syaratul Rahmat. How about MS Teams more using memory and more using data of internet? What do you think about that? Meaning that maybe it's related to internet connection, using the internet connection. It means maybe why what do you think about that Microsoft Teams use high internet connection usage, or no? Can it
okay. There's a survey actually, but it is in the Philippine setting. I don't know how the bandwidth the bandwidth or the usage or the data usage of Microsoft Teams in your area. But in the Philippines, Microsoft Teams topped third in the most data consumer of all the video platforms or video conferencing applications. Number one actually is Zoom. The number two is Google Classroom or Google Meet. And the third is Microsoft Teams. I don't know in your country what is the status of Microsoft Teams in your country, but I'm sharing what is the status or the situation of Microsoft Teams here in the Philippines.
Yeah, it's quite similar especially for Asian countries. Also regarding the use of this question, maybe if you have a kind of comparison between different platforms using for remote learning, maybe you can, if you have any reference comparing between Google Classroom and Microsoft Teams, others, maybe if you have, you can share with my teachers tonight.
Okay, sir. Personally, Microsoft Teams is better. It's because again, you can integrate, you can impose or apply different applications under Microsoft as well, even third party applications as well. That's why it's more convenient for me. That's my personal experience. It's more convenient than the rival.
Okay. Thank you. Okay,
Thank
and
you.
the next question is, let me see, from, oh,
Sir, I have seen a question. I don't know if I answered it already. Can I read
this
it?
is, yeah, you can read it if you can read some question here.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
This is from Yusnawati Kartini, if I pronounce your name correctly. And according to Yusnawati, she is a English teacher. And I have a question. My school using Teams for online learning, but still there are some students who never come to the Teams classroom. What should the teacher do to handle this problem, and how to motivate students to keep up with us during this uneasy condition? First of all, maybe the reason why the student um, doesn't go to your class, doesn't go to your team is because number one reason is the internet connection or the internet connectivity. Second is um the device. Perhaps their device is broken or their cell phone or laptop is broken. That's why they cannot attend. And lastly, pedagogically speaking, make your lessons more interactive. And if they are not really comfortable in attending online classes, you can also provide them um, lessons that they can do it asynchronously, which may come in the form of modules and a video, asynchronous videos you can do, and it's a bit easier to monitor when using modules. And those modules are like I've presented earlier, it's from my this for example this one. You can make this online. That's the wrong. Okay, here's the slide. For example, these let's choose a for example activities in MTB lesson 1 and 2. It's a module. It's a modular type of lesson. If your student doesn't want to attend your online class, you can shift to another mode of learning, which is modular, and just ask them to download the modules. It's easy to download. Just right click, then download. Easy as that. And that's just my suggestion. Thank
okay,
you.
okay, thank you. Or maybe the students do not come to the Microsoft Teams because they have already lost their accounts.
Yes, that's one reason as well.
Yeah. Most of my students usually forgot their password, so they cannot log in into their account. Okay. Next, another question from Koerozi. Let me introduce myself. My name Koerozi. I'm from Tuban, East Java. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much. I can join this webinar tonight. Here, I would like to ask question. What is the effective way to apply Microsoft Teams, especially in elementary school level? I think you
Sir,
have already answered
yes,
this
sir.
question
Yes,
before.
earlier, sir. Yes.
Okay, next, Stephanie, it is also applicable and accessible for students with special students. I don't
Yes.
know. Yeah, I mean students with special needs. Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah, I also mentioned that earlier.
Yeah,
Sir.
yeah, yeah. Okay, and then let's see. Yang mereka bisa, ya mereka bisa menggunakan koneksi internet yang dibutuhkan. Mereka perlu membuat akun. Okay. From Ria Sukmawati, I have already deployed Office 365 free version for education, but the program is going to be expired on December. So can my school have an renewal free for using Office 365?
Yes, actually, I mentioned that earlier. Again, contact your sales representative in Microsoft Office near you in your country.
Oh yeah, or maybe Ibu Ria Sukmawati, you can contact me. I would help you to renew your your account for the next 1 year. That's okay. You know, today I have helped 2 schools for approval of requesting Office 365 education tenant. A1 for faculty, A1 for students. Okay, then Hoiria, kalau bagaimana cara membuat akun sudah dijawab ya Ibu Hoiria ya. Jadi Bu Hoiria kalau mau buat ya akun sekolahnya itu dibuatkan website dulu, kemudian dideploy Office 365. Ibu Hoiria bisa kontak saya. Kemudian then from Pak Taufik Hidayat Faisal, thank you for your great presentation, Mr. Chester. Here
Thank you.
I want to know your opinion. Let's say the pandemic has over. Is remote learning still relevant, or we can use both of remote learning and direct face-to-face learning? This is asking for your opinion, sir.
Okay. To answer that, yes, it's still applicable because there are still families prefer to homeschool their children. And I believe that it's still applicable when the pandemic has gone, going to be relevant and blended learning. So that next time that we have experienced a social problem again, a health problem, or a world pandemic again, and hope not, we are ready. We are
do.
ready.
We do hope.
We do hope.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I hope Mr. Taufik Hidayat Faisal are with us and can hear what you're trying to describe, sir. Well, we are going to move to the next question from Wahyu Windari. What is the advantage of using Microsoft Teams compared to Google Classroom?
Again, like what I've said earlier, Microsoft Teams is just a one hub that you can use with the integration of different Microsoft apps and the third-party apps. It's basically it's a one hub. Parang it's everything. Everything is there. Everything is ready for you. So that's what I like about Microsoft Teams, and I hope you would give it a try.
Oke. Jadi Ibu Wahyu Windari, kelebihannya Microsoft Teams itu apa ya, sudah hampir semua ada di dalamnya gitu dibanding dengan Google Classroom. Ya, karena kalau saya sih berdasarkan pengalaman Bu ya, Microsoft Teams ini proses mendapatkannya lebih mudah dibanding Google Classroom, especially for yang free A1 for faculty yang di-approve oleh Microsoft, dan proses approval Google Classroom itu agak sedikit lebih ribet ya, karena memang tidak seperti Microsoft seperti itu, Bu. Baik. And then dari Bapak Saipul Math. Kemarin sekolah kami sempat mencoba deploy Office 365, tapi hanya 25 lisensi untuk guru. Ya, ini sudah dijawab tadi, Bu. Bapak sudah dijawab, it's already answered, so you have to contact Microsoft for approval of your edutainment, and they will be once your school is approved, you would have an unlimited license of Office 365 for your school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Second question is, is Microsoft Teams can only be used within one organization or not, or more than? So do you get the point, sir?
Sure. Sure again.
Okay. Is Microsoft Teams only applicable for internal organization?
Not really, sir. It may open to different organizations. It also open to different institutions as well. So it's not that limited.
Yeah. Okay. Good. To know that, Pak Saiful, jadi bisa di luar organisasi ya. So it can be used for outside organization. And I did it within my account of Microsoft Teams.
Sir, I have read another question, sir.
Okay. That's okay. You can continue to answer it.
Yes, sir. Sir, but first, may I excuse myself? I'm just going to lock the doors.
Okay. Ya, Bapak Ibu, Pak Chester ini sedang minta izin, tadi ada pergi bergeser menutup pintu dulu. Ya, sambil ini kita lihat lagi di bagian, oh ya, ada Pak Laresi lagi raise hand. Halo Pak Laresi.
Ya, halo, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mungkin Bapak mau memberikan pertanyaan Pak dalam bahasa Inggris atau bahasa Indonesia, disilakan.
Bahasa Indonesia, belum bisa bahasa Muna. Bahasa Indonesia.
Ya, silakan Pak.
Ini yang saya mau tanya, saya tidak terkait dengan Microsoft Office Microsoft Teams, tapi tentang hal lain, mungkin tukar informasi. Kira-kira bagaimana di Filipina itu sistem pembelajaran sekolah kejuruan atau vocational school itu mungkin bisa berbagi informasi dengan beliau supaya kita menjadi perbandingan bagaimana mengembangkan SMK di tempat kita masing-masing. Itu ya.
Oke. Ada lagi yang lain? Itu saja Pak?
Ya, itu saja.
Oke. Terima kasih Pak KS.
Ya, terima kasih.
Okay, hello, Sir Chester. Are you with me?
Hello, I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back.
Okay, sure. This is one of my friends asking you about. This is not related to Microsoft Teams, but he wants you to share any information related to the management of vocational school in your country, say maybe engineering school or computer school or computer program in school, maybe in Indonesia we call SMK or vocational school. So is there any you maybe any experience you can share with us about your school, vocational school there?
Yes, sir. It's all Microsoft Teams is also applicable to that. Given the features of um, integrating apps, integrating applications, other softwares as well, designing and providing.
Sorry, sir. This Sir Laresi asked about he just want you to share your experience about vocational vocational school in your country. What is the common program of vocational school there? Not
Uh,
about Microsoft Teams. Thank
and
you.
not only Microsoft Teams, but in vocational schools, I'm not really so sure about vocational schools, what they are using, because I haven't been there. I haven't, um, yeah, I haven't experienced in entering a vocational school, so I have no definite question about it.
Oh yeah.
To answer, I don't have a definite answer about it. So fortunately, I apologize.
Okay, no problem. Oke, Pak Laresi ini kebetulan beliau ini tidak begitu memahami ya bagaimana vocational school di sana. Dan dia minta maaf untuk itu.
Oke, tidak apa-apa.
Ini barangkali beliau ini kan tidak di ranah kebijakan karena cenderung pertanyaan Bapak tadi itu berkaitan dengan unsur-unsur manajerial dalam tatanan pendidikan di sana. Mungkin seperti itu.
Iya.
Ya.
Oke. Iya, makasih.
Baik, kita lanjut dengan.
I saw another question.
Okay.
It's from Fatra. I have some problems in conducting teaching learning using Microsoft Teams. First problem is someone removed another participant from the room. It's because like I've shown you earlier how to manage the teams or the team members. Did you have you checked if the members are in the member mode or in the owner mode? Because they have the power if they are in the owner mode. And second problem, the participants disturb my screen share so I can share my materials. You can okay. Again, I cannot open my Microsoft Teams. I'm just going to show you how to um, you know, refrain or restrain your members or your students in disturbing your screen. So there's a panel there. I just cannot see it. Okay, I'm lost. But there's a panel there. There's an option in near the video button when you're starting the video screen sharing, that you can refrain your participants in doing different things. So I hope that I answered your question, Fatra.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Patra may be asking you about the way how to prevent students from removing their friends
Yes,
during the meetings.
yes. It's in the manage teams, and I've shown you a video on how to manage your teams and how to manage the members of each team. Again, I'm going to copy the link of the YouTube video so that you can watch it over and over again.
Okay, thank you so much for that, sir.
This is the way to prevent your teams, the members, in order um, preventing your team members in doing different things. And that's the link. And since I am already here, I'm going to send the other links as well.
When you launch the Teams app, you will write it.
That's the fourth one. And let's go to the fifth one. Copy. That's the sixth.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. I just
Uh,
finished sending the link
yeah,
of
I
the YouTube
can
video.
see your screen here, but it is blurred with no images showing. Maybe because of internet connection. I don't know why.
Yes, perhaps that's the reason. But I hope
Okay,
it's okay
I
now.
would like also share to our participants tonight a trick, tips how to prevent students from removing others. I got it from Kevin Stratford channel.
Yes,
This is
sir.
one of my private channel, my uh, preferred channel for learning Office 365. Let me share it to our attendants. This is link untuk mencegah siswa mengeluarkan. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay, teachers, you can click the link that Sir Bahar Redeem sent to us.
Lots of link to
Yes,
read.
yes, sir. The better.
Yeah, I do. I also love to learn from YouTube because many volunteer workers to share from the internet from using YouTube.
Yeah.
Let me see here. This Stephanie Bus from Philippines.
Yes.
This is Stephanie Bus.
Yes. Hi, ma'am.
She's trying to describe the vocational school in Philippines, so mostly on hotel, restaurant services, secretarial management, auto electric courses, programs ranging from 6 months to 2 years. Oh, thank you for the information, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, and then let me see again, maybe Pasahama. Okay, Pasahama, would you like to address a question to our presenter tonight? Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Well, hello. Hello. Can you copy me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly here. Please
Can you hear
ask
me?
a question to
Okay.
Mr. Chester.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Hello. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Evening. I am Stahama from Southeast Sulawesi, Indonesia. You had explained that in Philippines, TV, radio, internet, and on the device for remote learning. I think they are same with Indonesia. So I want to ask about facilities because teacher and student of Indonesia get a lot of facilities for remote learning. I think you can explain it again. What about in Philippines? Thank you, sir.
Oh, facilities like the other resources, sir?
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Sir, like Kevin mentioned earlier, some schools here in the Philippines make use of television, the radio, and we are also using modular approach.
Oh yeah.
That because some of the students, some of teachers doesn't have the affordance of internet connectivity, so they stick to television, they stick to radio broadcasting and modular.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What about with a HP handphone? I mean, yeah, for students in elementary school, they can use it again?
Yes, sir. Same thing. Actually, it's applicable in different school levels, elementary up to even college. They are using it.
Oh yeah. Okay, I think it is okay, sure. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sir Sahama. Next, Sir Asep Ramdhani. Would you like to address a question for our presenter tonight, please? Pak Asep Ramdhani, apakah mau bertanya pakai bahasa Inggris atau bahasa Indonesia? Silakan.
Thank you very much, but I want to speak Indonesian aja.
Oke, silakan Bapak.
Beberapa bulan yang lalu, Bapak, saya mengikuti pelatihan Microsoft Teams Office 365. Lalu kami itu kan diberi akun secara gratis dari Microsoft Office 365 Indonesia. Yang ingin saya tanyakan, apakah akun itu dapat digunakan secara permanen atau ada masa kadaluarsanya gitu, Pak? Terima kasih, itu yang saya tanyakan, Pak. Terima kasih.
Boleh tahu Pak, akunnya itu apa Pak? Ininya, domainnya Pak?
Itu Guru Inovatif apa?
Iya. Oke. Terima kasih Bapak. Ini mungkin tidak bisa dijawab oleh Pak Chester ya, karena Guru inovatif itu ada di Indonesia dan kebetulan saya adminnya Pak. Jadi gini, guru inovatif itu salah satu akun yang sudah di approve oleh Microsoft ya, dan itu bisa dipakai permanen selama. Jadi oke. Jadi Bapak boleh menggunakan itu Pak, permanen Pak. Jadi kecuali Bapak lupa password, Bapak harus konsultasi sama admin.
Alhamdulillah Bapak, terima kasih. Terus satu lagi Bapak, jika misalkan saya mau mendeploy, itu apakah memang harus punya web sekolahnya gitu Pak?
Ya, itu wajib Pak. Jadi persyaratan deploy ini untuk semua sekolah ya, sekolah mana saja, mau dia sekolah SMA, SMP, SD, TK atau sekolah sekolah-sekolah swasta mungkin. Itu semua harus punya website untuk mendapatkan approval dari harus punya website untuk bisa deploy Office 365 Pak, karena requirement-nya untuk itu. Perlu alamat website yang bisa disinkron otomatis ke servernya Microsoft. Seperti itu, Pak. Nah, dan itu bisa kami fasilitasi. Kalau Bapak mau sekolahnya di deploy, bisa kontak saya aja Pak. Sehari jadi Pak.
Gimana Pak?
Iya, gimana Pak? Bapak boleh kontak saya Pak. Nanti untuk teman-teman yang join malam ini, kalau mau deploy Office 365-nya boleh kontak saya. Persyaratan deploy-nya website saja sama itu. Kami juga bisa fasilitasi untuk buat website. Buat website-nya tentu ada pembayaran itu untuk tahun pertama 800, tahun kedua 400, dan tahun ketiganya 250.000 Pak.
Oh, jadi 3 tahap pembayaran itu di selamanya, untuk selamanya.
Iya, setiap tahun akhirnya nanti dia tahun-tahun selanjutnya hanya 250.000 Pak, seperti itu ya.
Oh, jadi
ya share kontak saya aja di room chat nih.
Iya, terima kasih.
Oke Pak, ini saya simpan supaya bisa terjawab. Yeay. Oke. Baik, selanjutnya saya lihat chat dulu ya.
Pak Bahar bisa mungkin menaikkan Stephanie itu dari Filipina. Dia membantu menjawab.
Saya lihat dulu ya akunnya. Oke. Hello, hello, ma'am, Stephanie.
Oh, yes.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Hey, good evening. Hey, ma'am, Stephanie, are you from Philippines?
Oh, yes, I'm from the Philippines.
So, can you speak Indonesian?
I am a student of Indonesian, but I know very little Indonesian language.
Oh, good. Good to know that. Welcome our webinar tonight.
I am a teacher of Chester, and I am supporting him.
Hey, ma'am. Hey. Hey, ma'am.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you too.
Thank you, ma'am.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Thank you for joining, Ma'am Stephanie.
Sama-sama.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, perhaps next time we may decide to do a collaboration webinar between Philippine and Indonesian.
Oh yes,
Yes,
we
yes,
can do
please.
that with our university.
Oh, good. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But before
Yay.
discussing about it, let me continue to move to check another question from the attendee.
Yeah.
We need to talk about it later on. Please, let me see. Still some
I'm also
questions.
Makasih
I'm
po.
also checking. I'm also checking if there are questions, and I haven't seen any questions at the moment.
Okay, Canisius Boko is asking for whether is Office 365 can be run in between within one domain with G Suite account. Ya, saya mau sampaikan,
I'm
so Sir Chester, would you like to comment with that question?
Sir, pardon. Can we use the G Suite
Yeah,
to
both
because of
asking you about whether G Suite and Office 365 can be deployed, both G Suite and Office 365 into one domain, one website.
I don't think so. First, because they are rivals.
Yeah,
But you can but you can use for example, if you want to create an account in Microsoft 365, you can also use your Google account, your Google Mail in signing up. In my first account in Microsoft, I used my Google account in signing up. So it was successful. And I
yeah,
don't
me
know
too.
if and I don't know if G Suite is can be integrated in Microsoft Teams and vice versa. Because I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, I'd like to answer this question. Basically, both Office 365 and G Suite have free program for education, but to deploy an Office 365 account for a school, actually it requires a website. Let
Yes,
me
yes.
describe into more technical details of deploying G Suite in one domain and Office 365. It's possible to deploy both, but it won't be effective enough to apply at school because both of these platform have almost have the same function. And let's say if you have Office 365 at school already set up for your school, and you have got the license A1 for faculty and for students, you are going to have 1,500,000 account available for free. And for each users, for each account, you would have 1,000 gigs storage available online. And I don't think that, G Suite also offers the same space, and I don't think it would be efficient to use at your school, Pak Kanisius ya. Mungkin tidak akan efektif karena dua platform ini menawarkan dua program yang mirip antara satu dengan yang lain, hampir sama gitu. Dan bayangin bahwa satu akun jika sekolahnya sudah punya Office 365 itu sudah tersedia 1.500.000 account gratis. Dan demikian pula di G Suite, satu kali approve, maka dia akan memberikan layanan yang mirip-mirip dengan Office 365, sehingga rasanya ini akan menjadi sesuatu yang tidak begitu efektif digunakan di sekolah seperti itu. Nah, ini ada yang minta link WA. Okay, Sir Chester, I think we are now come to the end of the session. It's now 10:41 p.m. in my country, and maybe
Yes, sir.
you
We're the same.
have the same time with me. Oke, terima kasih Bapak Ibu semua sudah bergabung. Mungkin ada hal-hal yang perlu ditanyakan. Ini ada yang meminta link. Someone asking for the link of our WhatsApp group. I would like to share the link. Copy the link first, and I would like to share you. And also, maybe Ma'am Stephanie can also join with us. You can join us in our chat group, and also you, Sir Chester, can join with us.
Of course, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. And I think it's now time to close our discussion, sir. So you maybe have a closing statement for your presentation tonight. I would like to say to my attendee. Thank you. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, sir. Do you have any conclusion for our discussion tonight?
So I don't have any conclusion but on it. I want to share something that no matter what happens, no matter how you deliver your lesson, it's our responsibility. And again, for the future of our next generations, of this generation, it's in our hands. So let's help each other and help one another to achieve the goals and aspirations of our students. That's it.
Oke, jadi pesannya bahwa tidak bagaimanapun persoalan yang kita hadapi, mari kita saling membantu, ya, Bapak Ibu, untuk bagaimana bisa memajukan pendidikan kita, bisa bekerja sama dengan yang lain untuk bisa membantu siswa-siswa kita bisa belajar. Well, thank you, Sir Chester. Terima kasih Bapak Ibu sudah bergabung.
Thank you.
Jangan lupa Bapak Ibu untuk mengisi form presensinya. Please don't forget to fill in the form of our attendance tonight. And thank you for your kind and nice presentation, Sir Chester.
Thank you, sir. Should I also
joining
sign up for the attendance?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chester and Ma'am Stephanie.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you.
for your sharing knowledge and information about Microsoft Teams this evening. So glad we meet you. Hopefully, you will always be given health by God, so that later you can return in Sultra Cerdas to share your knowledge with all teachers in Indonesia, especially in
Thank
Sultra
you.
Cerdas.
My pleasure, ma'am.
Okay.
Hi, Ma'am Steph.